What's going on, fellow alchemists? Welcome to Astrology. My name's Sam. Today we'll be talking about Venus in the 5th house and what that means in your chart or the chart of others when you're reading them, and how you can get a more accurate reading so you can interpret it more accurately when reading your own or reading somebody else's. So let's just get into it. So Venus in the 5th house, the house of creativity, the house of children, your first child, the house of sexual exploits. Not just the act of sex, because that's done in the 8th house, but the sexual enjoyment of it. And you can see why when you bring creativity, sexual enjoyment, sexual expression, creative expression, your first child, your relationship with your first child, and you bring Venus in here, you can have a very good situation. Very good situation indeed. Because Venus is sensual, Venus is feminine, Venus is the imagination. And when you bring and you couple the imagination with creative exploits, with your creative expression, your sexual expression, the way you enjoy and initiate the process of mixing and merging with your partner in a romantic feel, that's really where Venus really shines out, you know, in her sensual ability to convey and convert all that beautiful Venetian energy into these exploits and campaigns that you go into when you're interacting with people involved in those kind of roles. So with Venus in the 5th house, also remember that the 5th house is generally the signifier of your relationship with your first child. So when you have Venus here, you could be the very caring parent, the very attentive parent, in the sense of always being there in a very supportive, maybe not in a moon type of energy, but in a very feminine, supportive type of way. You might be the one who kind of brings out that kind of feminine energy into their lives so that they can accept it, especially in a supposed patriarchal dominated society, where you can bring Venetian feminine energy and pride in that, you know, pride in being an empress, pride in being a queen, pride in being part of that energy into your child's life, and raise them with that pride so that they grow up and develop a healthy relationship with the femininity within them, and that therein contribute to bringing out the femininity, as it should do, into the rest of the world. You know, so Venus in the 5th house also has a really good way of relating with your child. Of course, that depends on what kind of external aspects Venus is facing. So are you facing Venus which has part aspects like squares, you know, or does there positive conjunctions? So always look at that, and always look at what kind of star sign is sitting on top of your 5th house to really get a proper judgment of the nature of Venus and what she's doing in your 5th house. In particular, what kind of area in your life, not just how you express your creativity or how you express your sexual creativity and expression into the world, but the sign forms and molds that energy into a specific color and brings that color out. So it's very important to understand what kind of sign is sitting on top of your 5th house and what kind of aspects are aspecting Venus, to really get a judgment on the nature of your 5th house so that you can get a proper, true assessment of it. So again, people who have this kind of placement are very lucky. And I think if you are a partner or somebody who's in a relationship with someone who has this placement, you can be very lucky too, if you know what I mean. So when we get to under the sheets kind of things. So this is a person who will really embrace and mold with you and merge and share the very delicate parts of themselves with you in the hopes that you do it with them. And a lot of the time you will feel confident enough or comfortable enough to do that with someone who has this placement. So fellow alchemists, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be doing Venus in the 6th house next, and I'll see you next time. Drop a like and take care of yourself. Bye.